Greetings everyone, Battery H here for another episode of Road to Ruin. Today we've got another quick job. We're taking some iron pipes from London to Calais. So, quick inspection of the outside of the vehicle. It's the darkening evening and we're going to be rolling along through the night. Load looks good. We're all strapped on and ready to go. Okay, check clear to the left and clear to the right. And we can probably get this bad boy on the road. How is everyone today? I hope doing well. Well, let's get this thing on the road here for a minute. Yeah, it's hard to believe we're going to be going back to Calais, but we will. There's a dealership I'd like to snag a look at there, and maybe send some feelers out in the email for a possibility of buying a truck. As much as I'd like to get a Scania right now, they're just too expensive. Oh, what a drive it is going to be. So sit back and relax, folks. It's going to be a dinger. All right, we are coming towards the ferry now, so that's a good sign. Hope you've all enjoyed the nighttime journey through moonlit England. The docks are just up ahead on our right. And what I do have to say is that they actually show a pretty good view of what the docks are like here, and what they're also like in Dover, or here in the Dover area, and then to Calais, with the way the ship is structured and all that. The only thing that they're really missing from this dock area is a marshalling yard or parking lot, however you want to call it, where they set the trucks up and the cars up based on weight and where they're going to go in, and then they'll just bring the lines in and park them in that way. It's a space saver really for SCS, so I can't blame them for that. But other than that, it looks pretty good. The Dover-Calais ferry is actually everything is pretty close to scale, you know, and the check-in, of course, is what they're missing. Oh, when you look at some of this stuff, though, they do have a number of driver comforts on the ferries here. I was surprised to discover showers for the drivers so that they can refreshen up along the way. They've got even a commercial driver lounge and restaurant for just the commercial drivers, so that they're not mingling necessarily with the passengers and the families taking on holiday and with the kids and everything like that. It gives them a chance to rest and recuperate for the trip over. You know, it doesn't take a lot of time, but, you know, just that little bit of down break is a big help to any kind of commercial driver. So let's get this beast parked here in the ferry. Looks like we're over on the right side this time. Slide right on the lanes here. As you can see, they do pack them in pretty tight. We'll just bring it right up. Okay, let's park this beast and get ready for our trip over. Okay, let's get started and get out of this box with a chance of sinking. Not a big fan of ferries, as you might have figured out by that statement. Once we get this truck back on dry land where it belongs, we can get up and do Pas de Calais, or Calais as I'm pretty much going to call it from here on out. Sorry, you Francophiles. I just have to remember right now to drive on the right, because although that is normally the way I drive where I live, for some reason when I get out of Great Britain, I immediately want to drive on the left, so we don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. Right side, yep, but we have to turn left at the top of this hill, and frankly, the engine isn't all that great to begin with. There we go. Let's get the little old thing, and we can get rid of the big info screen that I don't need anymore. There we go. Okay, we're going to keep crawling, but we're not going to stop. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop unless we have to. There's a car coming, truck from the right, cars and trucks from the left. Okay, can we get going? He's on the far side. Just stop for him, will you? Nope, you're not going to stop. Okay. All right. Better. So now we have to drive on the right side of the road with a right side drive. Always a fun concept. So although it's great to see the cars coming from me, it also makes it very difficult to really see where we're at on the left side, which is important every time we turn right. Oh well. Be that as it may, we're on the road, and we can finally talk a little bit about Calais. Well, Pas de Calais and the White Cliffs of Dover. Nice job. Thank you, good sir. Well, we'll squeeze over to the right here and stay in the slow lane. As I was saying, Pas de Calais and Dover in Great Britain are the shallowest crossing of the English Channel. So it means that Calais has been an important port for a very, very, very long time in history. We don't think about that much. But Calais was the staging point for Julius Caesar and 5 legions when he invaded Britannia all the way back in 55 BC. Yeah, that makes it an important port a very long time ago. And it would be the connection for the Roman conquest and the Roman occupation of Britannia throughout Rome's occupation of the island. And if we go way into the future, by 1347, Edward III lays siege to the city. Okay, and the city held out so long that Edward ordered the entire population killed when he finally managed to capture it. However, the town and Edward's queen came up with a deal, Queen Philippa. They agreed that the town said that they would offer up 6 of the leading citizens for death if Edward would allow the rest of the town to be spared. And Edward, in principle, agreed to this. However, Queen Philippa intervened and begged for the lives of these 6 men willing to give up their lives. That was nice, wasn't it? That was certainly nice. Thanks, buddy. In any event, the 6 were spared. And eventually, a sculpture by Rodin, Les Bourgeois de Calais, was produced that showed the Queen intervening on the lives of these, on the behalf of the lives of these folks. And I believe a copy of that is in the town today. And there's certainly one in the Rodin Museum, I'm almost certain. However, by 1360, so a mere 13 years later, the city was given to English rule by treaty. This was going to be the basis for Edward's and claims on France, right? And the various English claims on France would be the fact that they owned this. They had title to French blood and royal blood, and were thus occupied. And of course, this set off all sorts of wonderful relationships between the French and the British that last probably until today. So what was the result? Well, 1558, Calais was besieged again, this time by Henry II of France, and the city fell, reverting to French rule. In 1596, however, because Calais, the interior was a walled city, it was besieged one more time, but this time it was the Spanish. And the Spanish troops came from the Netherlands, which was then a province of Spain, and captured the city in 1596 and returned to French rule 2 years later. So Calais is seen ruled by the French, by the British, by the Spanish, and they've managed to maintain their importance through all of that. And we're not going to go into the more modern history just yet. We'll save that for another time. But when you think about it, all these places had, influence, some for a lot longer than others, but you're going to find these influences, I suspect, in the city itself. Having not been there, I can't say for certain, but coming from a city, New Orleans, that has had French influence, Spanish influence, American influence, not to mention Bloody heck. Low oil pressure, air pressure. Ah! I gotta hang out for a minute here. So I have to wait for this to gun itself up. This Volvo for some reason does not want to behave. So when you get stuck with low air pressure in a situation like this, you're just kind of stuck here, and it's something that bugs me, is that it doesn't seem to want to charge the air pressure quickly or sufficiently at all, and there's no place to put it. You're just stuck. And I guess that's one of the things about going super realistic that we have that's made this a bit of a pain. So we're going to put on our hazard lights and hold out here for just a minute. Okay, just another moment here. Alright, we're going to get this bad boy going, and rather than waiting, I think what will probably be a low pressure system again, we're just going to see if we can park it. If not, we'll just let them do it for us. At this point, it's not really worth the XP. Let's see if it'll give us a chance. Nope. Still not going to let us go. So I think what we're going to do is wrap this up here. I'm hoping next time that we will be able to get ourselves our own truck. So it's not going to be a big truck. It's not going to be a powerful truck. It's not going to be a pretty truck in all likelihood. It's going to be a bare bones truck, but we will finally get out of this rut of taking jobs for others. Oh, there we go. We'll get ourselves a new level. And I think we're going to take long distance here. Yeah, let's do that. And from me to all of you, have a great day. See you next time.